What's up everybody, it's me, Megan Kerstetter, and welcome to my art channel. Today I'm going to be doing a cartoon fusion swap. So what is a fusion swap? Well, it's pretty simple. For the swap part, I'm going to take two different characters from separate cartoons and draw them in each other's styles. And for the fusion, I'll take another two characters from each series and proceed to draw each of them in a mixed up style of both shows. It may or may not work out, but along the way, I hope it's entertaining to watch. Today's fusion swap will be of two series I've enjoyed watching in the past, which are Pokémon and Adventure Time. To start out, I pick a Pokémon from the show, first gen for me because I have a soft side when it comes to nostalgia. I never really got to play the games as a kid, aside from when we would go to places like Toys R Us and they had that last aisle that just had all of the gaming systems in it. Yeah, that was a pretty sweet aisle. Anyway, I knew if I ever actually did play the games that I would choose Bulbasaur as my starter Pokemon. And I've heard lately that a lot of people don't really care for Bulbasaur as a starter Pokemon, but I don't know, I just always liked his design and the fact that he grows this little flower out of his back as he evolves. So, but I guess for me, I would probably stop at Ivysaur. I wouldn't actually go all the way to Venusaur if I actually played the game. Anyway, the next character I start to draw is Jake the dog, and I tried to do this in the Pokemon style, which was a lot harder than I thought it was going to be. I honestly don't think I really understood the Pokemon style as well as I could have to get him to look like he was basically a Pokemon. But I did my best, and he did turn out pretty cool, so I am happy with that. I think Bulbasaur was a little bit better and tapped into the Adventure Time style a lot more than I was able to get Jake to look like the Pokemon style. But moving on, I decided to choose two more characters from each series. One, Ash Ketchum, because, he is, other than Pikachu, he's the face of Pokemon. And then Finn, the human from Adventure Time, and I was not sure how I was going to entirely do this. At first, the styles kind of leaned more towards the Adventure Time look, except I gave them actual elbows and knees. I love Adventure Time noodle arms and legs, but if I was going to mix the styles together, I knew I was going to actually give them a little bit of bone structure. So in the beginning, their eyes were actually kind of just these blank, shiny anime eyes without any white around them, and they were cute, but it still didn't look like it was quite a mashup of styles. So as I was going, I ended up making their eyes look more like anime cartoon eyes instead, and I think that helped a lot. I think that it might have been cuter the other way, but as I said, I really wanted to do a style fusion. Another thing I tried to do was give them their own poses, not just use the poses from my references, which was another big challenge, and, I'm half on board, half off board with it, guys. I was just like, this looks okay. It just comes down to learning how to draw anatomy better, and I guess if I had really wanted to, I could have found some more references, but I also wanted to see how I was going to fare just on my own, trying to do it myself without any. And of course, my advice to you guys is, if you can, use reference as much as you need. They're very beneficial, and they actually help you complete artwork faster than what you probably normally would if you're just trying to work from your brain itself. For this image, I basically went with my gut for the poses, but then I also used some references for the hands, because hands are one of the hardest things for me to still draw. Yep, it's true, guys. I have been through 5 years of college, and I still struggle with hands. So if you guys feel like, oh no, I'll never be a true artist because I can't draw hands, keep going, keep trying. As you work at it, you're going to get better and better. The more you draw, the more hands you draw, the better they're going to get. So yeah, it's basically like everything in the art world and in life. Just practice makes, maybe not perfect, but more efficient. It doesn't actually roll off the tongue as nicely as practice makes perfect, but in my opinion, it's a much more accurate and attainable statement. Back to the drawing, you can see that I use the eyedropper tool to transfer colors from the references to the characters that I've made. You can also see that even though I may have my line art done and my colors down, I will sometimes go in with the mesh transform tool, which is really nice in Clip Studio Paint. I like it because you can actually transform more than one layer at once, as well as add more transformation points to your mesh. And by the way, guys, if you are interested in purchasing a program like Photoshop that isn't as expensive, you don't have to use a subscription, I definitely recommend Clip Studio Paint. They're not paying me to say this. I found the program about 2-ish years ago, and I was just blown away by how much you can do in it. And like I said about the transform tool, there's other tools in there you can use that Photoshop doesn't have. There are some things that Photoshop does have that if you're used to working in that program, you might miss, but overall, for a program that's under $100, it is an amazing find. At this point, you can see that I am now cel shading my drawing, and I used to do my cel shading like this in Photoshop. I would either use the lasso tool, the pen tool, or just my brush and put my shading down. I haven't found an equivalent to the pen tool in Clip Studio Paint, but I have found the lasso tool and the brush or pen tool, which I'm able to adjust the stabilization on. The ability to control the stabilization of my brush allows me to not have to worry so much about my hand shaking. The tablet doesn't pick up every little movement of my hand, and it just keeps things nice and crisp and smooth. Granted, this isn't a foolproof way of making sure your shading is perfect in your image. There's a lot of things that I still have to work on while I'm shading and figuring out just the shapes of the characters and where to put my shadows, but it does help keep things more smooth than if I was just using a regular brush without any stabilization. So at this point, I am working on any last minute changes I want to do to the piece. I didn't really like the direction that Ash's eyes had been sitting in, so I decided that I would move them, which was kind of funny looking as I went. He looked very derpy for a little bit, but eventually I did find a place where I wanted them to sit, and I was happy with that because it gave the character a little more life. He didn't feel like he was just looking blankly into the distance or away from all the other characters. And that wraps up my image, guys. I hope you liked this video. I really had a lot of fun making it. Just doing the 2 different styles, or attempting to do the 2 different styles from Adventure Time and Pokemon, and then trying to mash them up. That was a lot of fun. If you guys are interested in seeing more videos like this, let me know in the comments below. And if you like this video, it'd be great if you hit that thumbs up button, or better yet, subscribe to my channel. Thank you to everyone who's watched this video, and for everybody who's been supporting me on YouTube. You guys are incredible, and I can't wait to see you later.